Hello, you guys. It is Ebony. It is I. So, funny story. I did that first video. I went to go plug in my microphone again for the second. Do you know that bitch immediately broke? Not the microphone itself. I'm always having issues with the transmitter. Like for some reason, like the little adapter piece that goes into my phone, it's always breaking. So we're back to raw dogging the audio. I just bought like 8 different new ones because that's consistently the issue that I have. It's quite literally always the transmitter. So we're just gonna put myself in a position where we don't have to deal with that. If it breaks, nothing is stopping because it's irritating to me. This is like the like 4th set of fucking mics I bought in the last like 3 months. Anyways, today we are here to talk about nicolandria. Basically, if you don't know, they ended up breaking up very recently, or at least announcing it. But people have speculated, like when you go through the internet, they speculated since at least like April that they weren't really together, or Nick was like quote unquote cheating. So we're just gonna look at like timelines a little bit. We're just gonna see, was it real, was it fake, was it a scam. Let me just say my personal opinion before I get esoteric with it. I personally feel like, I don't have a strong personal opinion on if it was real or it's fake. One thing I will say is that I do find it interesting that people were calling it fake because it lasted a year. A lot of y'all be crying over y'all situationships after 3 weeks. So I think if the amount of time is what we're basing the reality of it on, I think that it's unfair to say that a year was completely fake. I think that you guys are a lot more emotionally moved over things that are not even closer to a year, but that was real. But that was real, right? On olandria's side specifically, I really don't think that she ever liked him. I really don't think that he was ever her type. I think that she really responded to him, like for example in the villa, like it's kind of, what's the word that they use, buzzy. Like I do think that like the vibes were there, and just like the idea of them having a fling, taking off like that excited her. But I don't think that she ever really felt strongly for him. I don't think that she ever really felt strongly for him. I think that she saw the opportunity in him. One thing I will say is that I feel like Nick was like, in her eyes, might have been kind of unsupportive. I know people were talking about that, how he was never really at her engagements the way that they felt like he should have been, and she probably thought about this too. I think that she thought that he would be good for her image, and at some point he started making her look bad. I do think that she also I wonder if she ever complained about it, specifically in the context of like Taylor and Clark, like, don't have me out here looking the way that Taylor has Clark looking and stuff like that. Yeah, I do think that she really liked him specifically for her image, and at some point she started to worry about him and the brand, and so she's like, girl, if you're gonna do certain things, please be quiet about it. Just like, don't embarrass me. I think that she was really worried about public embarrassment. I honestly think that she was really worried about how people would view the breakup, especially because she knows she has a lot of people who defend her, not just because they love her, but because they're so protective of their relationship that they go crazy about her. I think she was really worried about the loss of this and how this would make her look amongst her fans. Like, would she lose support, hypothetically, allegedly? I don't think it's all about them, but I do think that she understands that a lot of the power that she had was because people were defensive specifically of her relationship. With Nick, I'm going to be honest, hypothetically, allegedly, I feel like his feelings for her were very physical. I think that he always did find her attractive, but I do think that he knew very early on that they weren't really emotionally compatible. One thing I will say is that he might feel like he was looking for love or real connection while she was really trying to focus on her career. And I don't feel like this is an inherently negative thing on either side. I just do think that he was really looking for something real. And he, like, mind you, like Christopher, he always seemed very kind of confident in himself and what he had going on. I don't think he was really looking for fame. I think he was just looking for somebody else successful to kind of enjoy life with, whereas olandria was really focused on building her brand. And so even though there was a lot of physical compatibility, I don't think that he thought that they made a good match in a relationship. Like, this could be like as early as 3 months into that relationship, when like career was really taking precedence, especially because it's like she has a big career right now, right? One thing I will also say, hypothetically, allegedly, I don't know if Nick, I know he's probably not in the public eye. I wonder if Nick ever had some issues with her hair, like maybe not liking the wigs, or just like feeling like she's never really natural the way that he would like around her. It's funny because I don't think that he's necessarily super confident about his looks. Not that he thinks he's ugly, but like I don't know if she felt the same way, where maybe she wasn't really attracted to certain things. I feel like he was not really attracted to her presentation. I don't think he thought she was ugly. Dang, I don't really want to say exactly what I'm thinking, but I think that Nick, there seems to be like he might have felt a way specifically about her hair that's really bothering me, like feeling like the wigs look wiggy, or can't really get past the lace front thing. I just put it like that. Like, I don't think that he liked how she presented her hair a lot. I don't ever think, personally, I don't think that they ever, just like looking at this hypothetically, allegedly, I don't think they ever looked at each other liked each other that much. I think that they were there for the career elevation, and I think at some point it might have been disappointing, feeling like this didn't do as much for my career as I thought, like on her end. Also, to me, it doesn't really feel like Nick is really worried about career. I think that, like I said, I think that she was so worried about that, even how the relationship might benefit that might be why he really started to draw back, because he's like, I'm not doing this if I don't want to, or if we're missing out on things that feel important to me, so you can have a look, and so you can be, you can validate these fans, that kind of thing. I think they were always really friendly. I also feel like if they were intimate, I think that it was great intimacy. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I think that they always had like a good friend like rapport. I just don't ever think that it was truly romantic outside of sex. I think that sometimes could give the semblance of feelings, but I do think that for what month is it? I do want to say that probably like as early as January, it was clear that the feelings really weren't there. If you were to ask me, I probably would guess that they broke up like around Aries season. This is a lot of fire coming out, so I would have guessed that it was Aries season. There might have even been a specific Mars transit, or even like I could actually also see this, I'll say anywhere from March to May. This could also have been around the time, like probably by the time that Olandria had her birthday. Like if they hadn't broken up by the end of March, it had to have been some time by like to me it definitely seems that that time span between March and May where they were officially done. I honestly don't even feel like by her birthday they were really together. Like, did Nick post her? Oh no, he got her a nice present for her birthday, right? It might have also been maybe right after that they just couldn't do it anymore. I wonder if maybe some of the dissent in their relationship began around Aries season, and then after her birthday it was just, yeah, I feel like she might have had one last good rodeo with him, but it might have stopped very shortly after that. There's a part of me that feels like honestly before June was over that relationship was over, so it's probably been closer to a month, or yeah, it's definitely been over. It's likely been over a month since they broke up, right? If you were to ask me, I actually don't think it was a super nasty one. I think they both agreed that they weren't happy, and so to me, it kind of seems like they were very quick to let each other go, hypothetically, allegedly. I don't think that it was necessarily a super long, drawn-out process. I think that they were just like, okay, well, this is not working for me. I think that she also saw it as like, it kind of gives me the space to do what I want and go see other people. If you were to ask me, I don't think that they necessarily, okay, well, it could be cheating. I definitely do think that they both had their eyes set on other people. I'll say that much. I do think that they were attracted to other people or literally got involved with other people, and not even, like, for example, that rumor in Coachella, we're going to look at that too. But I do think that they were definitely ready to be with other people, especially Nick, to me, feels like he was ready to be with somebody else. They're talking about he wants to pop up with some girl named Molly. I don't know if she's like an Aries, or, like I said, there's, like, Coachella happens like early, like in Aries season, so I definitely think some of that was true. But let's look at it right quick. If you were to ask me, I definitely think that the rumors are true. Like, obviously, I didn't see anything. I honestly didn't even hear anything about that until as of recent. I think that he definitely was cheating, and I do think at that point he had kind of emotionally checked out of that relationship. I think he probably checked out a lot sooner than Olandria, or was sure that he really didn't feel anything strongly about her, especially if this other girl is really his type, where he just finds her very beautiful. One thing I will say, hypothetically, allegedly, I do think Nick was cheating. I do think, and I also don't feel like he did it just one time. This could definitely be one person that he was seeing multiple times, or he was with multiple times. Like, this to me gives at least 5 to 6. Like, he definitely, and when I say 5 to 6 times, it might be 5 to 6 times that he went to go see her, but they could have been doing lots of things. Like, to me, this kind of feels like a lot, no shade, a lot of cheating, hypothetically, allegedly. Like, I think it was, if you were to ask me, I think Nick checked out first. I think Olandria might have been very upset about this, but yeah, if you were to ask me, I think that Nick kind of felt stuck, or like it was benefiting her, this idea that they were together, but it was really stagnancy for him, because at the end of the day, he didn't really proposition it. He didn't really proposition the fans. Like, she was the one who was gaining all of it from that, and like, I think he was okay with that to a certain extent. At some point, it was just like, why am I doing this? Especially if he finds somebody else that he likes. What song am I hearing? Like, oh, I think that might be something that I wrote, but it just kind of feels like, it just made sense for him to leave, and he was ready to go. I feel like he presented the facts, and he's just like, there's no point, like, I have no benefit in this, so I might as well leave. I do think she thought it was fair. Like I said, I do think that she also thought that she had better lovers and better things to look forward at. I don't want to say that their sex was mid, but I do think that she kind of thought that someone else would probably, maybe physically attract me more, or just like I would just enjoy the experience more. Like I said, I think that her fear was definitely in the fans who would support her, and if she would lose these people. I don't think that she will. I do think that she might lose a certain subsection of like deranged people, right? But like, yeah, I think that she also feels like now that I don't necessarily have to hold up that facade, I can enjoy the people who are really just here for me. So she definitely was initially upset, but I do think at some point she was just like, there is a large benefit in this, including authenticity and like real support for just me. One thing I will say is that I don't think that I don't think that Nick was fully cheating at Coachella. I'll put it like that. I don't think he was, hypothetically, allegedly. I don't think that he was. I do think that at some point, I don't know if that necessarily felt like pushed him, or he felt like, okay, well, I do want to do that, even if he's not. Did they say he was kissing girls, or did they just see him with somebody? Like, I feel like he definitely had some ideas of what he wanted to do, but after that point might have been the point where it really got bad. That's what I'm saying. From like March to May, shit got messy, right? Yeah, he definitely wanted to. It might have even been the fact that he was, but he thought that he was slick. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he could get away with it, or damn, I didn't know it would be on blast so much. But like, he definitely for sure had feelings for somebody, even if he wasn't fully acting on them. The issue is, there's a part of me that feels like, I don't think that she, hypothetically, allegedly, I don't think that she's dating Travis Scott. It's either that she's really not doing it, or she really did not want people to know. Because it almost seems to me like not anymore. Like, she either wasn't with him, or that relationship is going to fizzle out because it's now become a talking point. It just kind of feels like there's a lot of a lot of this you could just see as plain no, but a lot of it also kind of feels like pushback. Like, you better not tell anybody. This can hit no blog, that kind of thing. So what I will say is that at this point, because it's become a thing, I don't think they would be any longer. There's a part of me that feels like there might be some truth to that, but like, she might have just been very, very defensive over keeping it hidden, especially because of maybe what he would have prompted her to do, hypothetically, allegedly. Like, I can see it being no, but this could be a thing of where as soon as it hit the blogs, he was like, fuck no. And then that was the end of that. And she might have wanted to keep him. It's just strange because I can see this being clear, like a clear no, but at the same time, I'm like, it doesn't, like, I wonder maybe she likes him, or maybe they were just, just now got to date each other, and it's like, dang, very early into this situation, I kind of got blew up, so we really didn't get far. Like, if you were to ask me, like, I'm just like, it doesn't seem like they were in a fully committed relationship if they had dealings with each other. I can definitely see this as like dealings. Like, I don't know if you would say that's necessarily her man. Maybe she was getting to know him, but after that point he was like, oh, this is a little bit too messy. I don't want no involvement in this, especially because like he probably don't want to deal with her fans, even though they're probably, not horrible, but like, definitely not the most pleasant people on earth, I'll say that. Also, personally, I don't keep up with Travis Scott, but after Kylie, I don't think we've ever seen Travis in another public relationship, right? So there's a part of me that just feels like you just got too much going on. He just did not want to be in the public eye, especially like especially because she comes from a dating show and she does have a lot of people who are very defensive over her love life. I think that Travis specifically did not want to be implicated in that, hypothetically. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's feeling like no, but it also feels like no as of now. Like, right now, no. Okay, I don't want to say that Olandria's fanship will decrease. I do think that she might deal with a lot of people who they might disengage a little bit because, like I said, they were there for this world. And it's really not, like, you would be surprised, especially how many black women are, like, feral over, like, swirl relationships. Like, you would be surprised how many of them very deeply hate black men. Not even, like, to defend black men, but I do feel like the anti-blackness gets to a point, right? But like, so deeply hate black men that they are really like living and dying trying to defend this ship. And it's like, you were never in the relationship. Like, you don't even know nicolandria and yeah, like, you don't know them, so whatever. One thing I will say is that I think, like I said, I do think that she was coasting at some point because it was doing good things for her image, specifically for her specific fan base. I do think that, like, there might be a hit in the fan base. I do think to a certain extent she might regret kind of dragging it out this long, because at least she could have, how do I put this? Like, I think she regrets dragging it out because, like, if I would have just, like, let this go a couple months ago, it wouldn't be so hard now, especially if she feels like she has a bunch of stuff coming up, or, like, she let it hit the blogs this way when there's already been a lot of drama. I don't think that she likes how this unfolded and the timing that it did. She might feel like it might hurt some major things she has coming up, and if she had just let it go exactly when it happened, they would have been able to kind of build back up momentum, if that makes sense. And she definitely will. I just do think there's a subsection of people who are definitely going to lose, like, interest is going to drop severely because they were there specifically for that. And they like black women specifically because they are attached to white men. They are attached to anything but blackness, right? I actually don't really, I hope this is not true. There's a part of me, I don't feel like she's going to become a flop. I just wonder if this could definitely create a downward spiral. Because I don't even know if she has fans who turn on her, or it becomes kind of like vitriol towards her. Like, I can see her losing quite a bit. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can see, not everything, but, like, definitely quite a bit. Like I said, it's definitely for those who are authentic, but I don't know if it's as many people who just love her for her, because there are a lot of people who are very, very weird. There are a lot of people who are laughing when that shit happened. because her fans have been so strange about that relationship and defending them and just like calling everybody else fake and all that. Yeah, I do think a large subsection about this was the PR of it all, and the fucked up part about it is I think that actually directly played into why it failed the way that it did. I think that's actually a very large reason about it, because you can't build a relationship on that. After some point, it's okay to kind of play into the interviews and the fame of it all, but at some point, it has to be about the love, and yeah. I do think that they had four or so good months of like really believing in it, and after that point, it definitely kind of became a drag, and then by the time that spring hit, it was like, yeah, um, like the sex is good or the physical relations are good, but at some point we don't actually like each other, or there's no real passion for that. Especially if the sex died out at some point, it was really like, oh, it's really over. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we don't have anything connecting us. And I think that they were both hiding from it, running from it a little bit, especially Olandria. Also, Nick doesn't seem too messy to me, but there's a part of me that fears that either Nick himself or someone out of his camp, maybe even a fan, might start telling the business. I just worry that he's gonna speak and it's gonna go really badly. I don't think it's gonna reflect well on him, but he might tell the business in a way where everyone kind of looks shitty. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know if this might be out of spite or jealousy, especially if he feels like people really bother him or won't leave him alone. Either about maybe the new, especially if he maybe announces a new person. Like, I just wonder if Nick might get a little bit messy with it in a way that is just like, you're detrimental to everybody, also including himself. I think they definitely made the right, um, they made the right decision, especially for Nick. If he wanted to just go back to having a regular career, that might also have been something that's important to him. He's very okay with not really doing too much. I know that he has like his nursing, that he does nursing, but he's also a DJ, so he might feel like this is a little bit better for him, going back and really being able to focus on his career the way that he wants. He might have felt like he couldn't really do that with her. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave this here for nicolandria, and I will see you guys in the next one.